Yeah, I'm pre-sales consultant working at Thales, responsible for CE region. I'm working the business unit called Cloud Protection and Licensing. Today, I'd like to show you and tell you more about the our service we have called Data Protection on Demand, or DPOD. And one particular service within that platform, which is called cloud-based HSM. Okay. Okay, let's start. Yeah, we live in a very interesting age where organizers are optimizing and transforming their businesses and processes, implementing faster and frequently changing digital technologies. Okay, one of these is multi-cloud adoption, cloud service provider adoption, but it increases. However, it also brings some security lags. Okay, so according to the IBM research and the IC Square research, only 33 organizations or big enterprises have started early stage of applying practices to secure cloud environment, their cloud environment. 90%, 95%, nearly 100 is concerned about the cloud security. That's good because, yeah, if we moved our resources there, we should be concerned about the security in the cloud. 67 professionalists or cybersecurity professionals are only moderate about confident in the organization cloud security, how they implement the security, how they protect the data in the cloud. Customers complain on many topics regarding data security. Of course, they need effective solution to meet the compliance, the famous one, PCI DSS, or one of the famous recently NIS2. Everyone is talking about NIS2 nowadays. They have also the comprehensive data protection strategy to protect the data when moving to the cloud. They need SLA. Yeah, in order to provide the business, you need to have at least know your SLA provided by the providers. And of course, some businesses are constrained by location, upfront costs, etc., etc. Now we live in an agile area where everyone starts new business every day. Okay. Oh yeah, rapid deployment is of course the part of the strategies. Okay. By the way, the customers who have not implemented the data protection solutions while they're moving to the cloud, or in general, let's say, end up in the data protection hell. All credits about the last illustration goes to the Hans Memling and the famous painting, the final judgment. If you visit Poland one day, you can find it in the Polish National Gallery in Gdańsk. So yeah, I really highly recommend to visit and see it in life. Okay, regardless of what is our data protection strategy, the only proven method of data protection is encryption. But encryption as a process is not enough. When we encrypt data, we have to manage the keys, right? So there are three main pillars to properly protect data. Encrypt the data. Okay, I get the key. Now I have to manage the keys, yeah, because probably you don't use one single key to encrypt everything. So you have to manage the keys. And then the third pillar is you have to control access to that data, to encrypt the data, and to that keys. For all these purposes, the HSM is a root of trust, because only HSM, by the way, HSMs are designed to provide the proper protection for the encryption keys. one important remark to all of you, on the market you can find two kinds of HSMs, payment HSM and general purpose HSMs, okay? Unfortunately, payment HSMs are or comes from the world of symmetric keys, okay? Mostly, however, yeah, they can play with asymmetric keys as well. Unfortunately, the payment HSM became to the market much earlier than a general purpose HSM, and there are no standards how to play, how to talk to the payment HSM. So simply there is no API standards how to talk with the payment HSM. Opposite is the general purpose HSM. And fortunately here we have very well known standards for the application interface. One of the famous is PKCC, and probably you heard about this, CNG, Java, and so on. And yeah, but what's the problem? The problem is there is a big gap between those two worlds, okay? And there is no chance to that one day we will have one main HSM to handle everything. Yeah, the reason is both worlds require different certification. PCI DSS or PCI HSM certification drives the payment world, while FIPS common criteria or ADAS drives the general purpose HSM. This is just for your information, and be careful about this. So, okay, we need the HSM. And taking under consideration that customers are moving to the cloud or they adopt the cloud, we in 2019 run the service called Depot, okay? The idea behind this was taking traditional HSM, okay, payment world or general purpose HSM, key management and other encryption services, and make it consumable as a service from the cloud. And this is exactly what Depot is. Data protection on demand, of course, in short, Depot. Depot is fully Thales managed, operated, cloud-based services. Okay, it consists of a couple services. We will talk about this later. There is a cloud HSM, there is a key management and encryption services. What's important? The Depot utilize multi-tier, multi-tenant. So, for example, you can be just the customer who consumes the service, or you can be the service provider of the Depot. So, for example, you buy the big bunch of subscription and share it to your customers. Okay, no hardware investment from your side, from the customer side and user side, actually. Yeah, it could be offered as a service depending on your scalability, capacity. It could be included in your service if you are going to run your service based on the HSM. By the way, we have a lot of technology partners which run the service where the Depot is included. Okay, we are totally cloud agnostic. I mean, which means you can utilize our service from Azure, from AWS, GCP, on-prem, your cloud provider, or your state cloud provider, if you like. No difference. Okay, and of course, from the finance point of view, there is no upfront investment. So OPEX, CAPEX are possible. We also offer the free POCs, trial evaluation for 30 days. And our accounting department has the flexible payment strategy for you as well. Okay, in short, this is the Depot. From the technical point of view, we cover two main regions, EMEA and North America. By default, service provides. Why is this different? The law enforcement. This is the main reason. EU, European Union shares more or less the same law. Different in North America, so that's why we have to cover these two regions in separate data center with different law enforcement. High availability by default. Devices we utilize to run this service have the FIPS 102 level 3 certification. Soon it will be 140-3. Yes, all our data centers have ISO 27001 and SOC 2 certification. So yeah, we guarantee that we properly run the service. All communication towards your environment, towards our service is two-layer transport encrypted. I will talk about it later. Yeah, you can involve any third-party based services if you want. This is the centralized platform for many services. Okay. What else? Of course, we provide the internal service redundancy. That's why we are able to provide you SLA at the level of 99.95% of availability. And internal, we also provide the automatic backup of your key materials. It's important. By the way, we improve this service as well. For example, one of our improvement will be the key material snapshot managed by the customer. So if something goes wrong, you will be able to return to without making backup on site, without making backup yourself, you will be able to return to your previous key material stage. Okay, this is the highlights of the technical. As I said, we run two different regions to cover North America and Europe. In Europe, we start service in Frankfurt in 2019. Now we run not Amsterdam, but this is of course Amsterdam. There is the typo here. Recently, we start a new data center in Amsterdam. Of course, all the data center have its backups. That just for your information, where the data is, where your data center is located. Data protection as a cloud-based marketplace. At the end, I will share the URL with you how to get there. As I said, Depot contains many services. Okay. The first we started in 2019, it was Luna Cloud HSM service. Okay, by the way, the name changed a little bit, but doesn't matter. Nowadays, it is called Luna Cloud HSM. Okay, we have CipherTrust key management. This is for key management and other important part of data protection. We have PayShield Cloud service. If you remember that we have two kinds of HSM. Yes, we run service, cloud service dedicated for payment HSMs as well. And as I mentioned, we have plenty of partner services. So for example, if you go and subscribe Prime Key service, immediately, if you go here, immediately you can get this service with our Depot HSM as a backend service. So yeah, we cooperate with many technological partners in order to utilize our data protection platform. Okay, today we will concentrate on this Luna Cloud HSM services. Okay, so only we will talk only about this the services you see on the left hand side. What is this? Just we call it tail. Okay, every single tail is one single service. However, from the technical point of view, there is no difference. Simply you get one HSM partition, which is known as the PKC's 11 slots. Okay, and you can integrate this secure container, secure repository of your keys for many purposes. By the way, these tails present you the typical integrations. And as I said, from the technical point of view, there is no difference. However, why we did it, just to provide the guide to the end customer how to configure our service with your solution. For example, very common, very often deployed is Luna Cloud HSM for Microsoft Active Directory Certificate Service. Luna Cloud HSM for Oracle TDE, SQL Server, there are others, yes. And if you do not have, if you have any specific integration, but you know that it is possible through the PKC11 interface, you can use this cloud HSM for general integration. Okay, so Thales, you can subscribe the tail, easy to deploy. What you get when you subscribe to one tail, so one service, you received one HSM service. De facto, this is the PKC11 slot, if you are familiar with this low-level technical statement. Storage up to 100 objects, symmetric or asymmetric, doesn't matter, any kind of objects. Performance you get is 100 operation per second, referring as the signing operation with RSA 2 kilo. Okay, the same level we keep, the same level performance level we keep for AS, so symmetric operation for decryption and encryption. And there is one difference: we only provide one key generation operation per second. Yeah, that's the difference. And by the way, of course, key generation is not very common. In most cases, HSM serve the signing operation. Up to the 5 clients connecting the one single tail, so one service. However, we have the special form to request more than 5 clients connecting one service if you need. We also consider to run service with the Luna Cloud HSM service with the higher capacity and the higher number of clients. But this probably will be, we will provide in 2025. An option to run the service in a FIPS and non-FIPS mode, which means we follow the latest FIPS regulations regarding encryption or not. We are more relaxed. Yeah, depends on your application. If you run all the application, I highly recommend to use non-FIPS mode, because yeah, you may get the problem when the too many constraints comes from the HSM side. On the application point, from the application point of view, receive all the modern interfaces. So PKC11 for Linux, Windows platform, Java, JCE, 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 Microsoft CNG, OpenSSL, etc. So typical HSM integration. Yeah, that's what's behind one tile from our service. Maybe you are wonder, how do we secure the connection between your environment and our service? Okay, first of all, important information: we diversify between the management of the service and the application utilizing the service. Okay, so customer has access to the interface, to the tenant interface, and see what services are subscribed, what services are expired, etc. How many clients are allocated. But application, when we initialize the service and we download the client, applications go through the 2-layer encrypted channel to get the data center to enter the subscribe at this service. As I said, multi-tier, multi-tenancy, typical customer just consume the service. However, you can act as a tenant admin. For example, you can buy the wider subscription, and from your subscription serve your customers. Okay, so you will be the tenant admin in our structure, and your customer will be application owner. So yeah, it could be an option for you to run or offer the service to your customers. Okay, yeah, differences relative to on-prem and installation. Of course, subscription rather than ownership. Yeah, I do not have pay a lot and upfront when you start your service, just the subscription. Scalable, you may start with single tail on the moderate level and then buy more services if your business is growing, for example. And you absolutely offload the key management appliance administration to us, to our service. You do not have to bother yourself with backing up, data clustering, key rotation, stuff like that. Everything is on our side. You just consume the service. And of course, from the management or security point of view, all our data centers meets the ISO and SOC 2 certification. So yeah, there is a proper security level behind our service. Of course, we have the white paper, which covers all the details, how this is provided. And for very special request, you can get the report from the certifications that the customer can get this. If you are playing with Luna USB, Luna PCI, or Luna Network HSM, and the cloud Luna, you can, thanks to the universal client, Luna Universal Client is our universal middleware, which can operate with any kind of Luna currently. Also, this is not the mystery, but Azure dedicated HSMs also utilize our Luna HSM to provide the dedicated HSM from Microsoft Azure. The same with IBM Cloud. So using the Luna middleware, you are able to play with HSM on-prem, if you have one deployed in your network, with Luna Cloud HSM from Depot or Azure or IBM Cloud as well. That's the huge advantage, and I, from the technical point of view, I really like this standard. Okay, how the typical Depot customers are. Yeah, we are quite succeed in selling the Depot services. So number of employee from 4 to 130,000. Yeah. Company age, just startup or more than 200. Really big names are on our list. Revenue regarding the customer from 1 million to 40 billions. So yeah, how they are advancing the cloud from very early point, only 10% of infrastructure is in the cloud, up to the fully cloud-based customers. Yeah. What is the typical use case? Well, many use cases. Electronics, sorry, not the use cases, the market from the customer. Any market is require customers from any market requires the HSM. Manufacturing, IoT, of course, PKI management, banking, smart metering. Oh yeah, smart metering, for example, is one of our biggest customers for Depot services. Okay, let's switch to the short demo. Maybe meanwhile I check if you have any questions in the chat. Okay, no questions. I encourage you to put any question in the chat. Don't be shy. Okay, let me show you how the service looks like. By the way, you can of course evaluate the service for 30 days. When you start the evaluation, excuse me. Oh yeah, this one, the last one. I will put this URL in the chat window right now. Of course, the content will be available after the meeting. So yeah, you have to choose which area you want to evaluate, North America or Europe, and then fill up the short form, and you get exactly that service for 30 days. How the service looks like. This is my, maybe I increase this a little bit. I already logged into my tenant. So I'm the admin of my tenants. You see, I'm the application owner here. Yeah, available services. Yeah, you saw it on the screenshot. These are Luna Cloud HSM services available. Why we have this different tails here? Because we want to, for example, Luna Cloud HSM for CyberArk. CyberArk is the privileged access management solution, and they keep the repository of all your credentials. It's of course necessary to encrypt to protect this repository. One of integration with CyberArk is to keep the master encryption key inside the HSM. Okay, so if we open the more info, you go directly to our documentation and you see exact integration guide, which provides you the step-by-step how to configure the service and how to configure the CyberArk part in order to integrate both. And similar, of course, are for other services. But as I said, from the technical point of view, you still get the same. You get the PK611 slot to store your data. Maybe a word of comment about those two, excuse me, those two tails here. In normal circumstances, you do not need export your private key. Yeah, the key should be generated inside the HSM, live there and die there. So sometimes, for example, for smart metering or when we deliver the our encryption keys, we need to export generated key outside the HSM. So for this purpose, this is a dedicated HSM tail called HSM with key export. And we have another one, Luna HSM backup. For example, if you have your on-prem infrastructure based on the Luna, you may buy this service from the cloud and backup your keys to the cloud instead of, for example, bothering yourself with devices like this is the Luna backup HSM, the small device, and still you have to play with this on-prem, put in your desk or whatever. Instead of doing this, you can utilize Luna backup HSM tail if you want. Besides the cloud HSM services or service, actually, we have Cypher key management services. Yeah, to cover this, we should maybe organize another meeting. But please remember, this is the part of our depot platform as well. For payment world, we have PaySheet Cloud Services. Okay, this is a bare metal hosted service right now. Soon we should have the full cloud service for this purpose. Nevertheless, yes, this solutions here covers this payment world in terms of, and at the end, yeah, as I said, partner services. So you may go to service offered by our technology partner for certificate management, code signing, IoT PKI infrastructure, etc., etc. I really encourage you to go there and see what integration with third party we have.